In the criminal justice system, the people,
pimps, addicts, thieves, bums, winos, girls who can't keep an address, and men who don't care,
are represented by two separate yet equally important groups.
A cop, a flatfoot, a bull, a dick, John Law. You're the fuzz, the heat, you're poison, you're trouble, you're bad news.
These are their stories.
This is a bizarre story. A man who vanished when he was 17 is discovered alive in a hole after being held captive by his neighbor for 27 years.
Whoa.
The man's name is Omar bin Omran. He's said to be one of 9 children believed to have disappeared in Algeria 27 years ago. His family assumed that he'd been killed during the civil war between the government, North Africa is where it is, and the Islamist rebel groups that were brutal for a 10-year period in the 1990s and early 2000s. But the reality was something quite different and happening right there in the neighborhood.
That poor man.
The missing man was found in his neighbor's house. A 61-year-old is now in police custody. Omar is now 45. He was rescued just a couple of days ago. You can see the picture now of Omar at 17 and what he looks like now. He was found in what appeared to be a hole in the ground, described by authorities as a sheep pen, that was there in the home of his captor. The story that's emerging is essentially he was, I guess, taken and then kept with a dog and with young children. I'm sorry, the picture of him is actually with a dog and young children, but I think it was taken before he was pinched, before he was taken, before he was kidnapped. But the search was launched for him in 1998 after he went missing. He was on his way to a vocational school at the time. Now he's 45, and he was found around haystacks after the captor's brother aired grievances on social media. So the guy had a fight with his brother over an inheritance, actually, and then he revealed this fact. The guy who kidnapped him tried to run, but cops caught him and he was arrested.
Man.
Sadly, I'm sorry, just going to say that sadly, his mother, Omar's mother, passed away in 2013 without ever knowing what happened to her son. So a lot of this information is just coming in. It's just happened in the last couple of days. There's video of it, of the actual discovery, and his family rejoicing about the fact that he's been found. But look at all that time that's gone by.
27 years in a hole in your neighbor's house? Awful.
No. The public prosecutor's office has charged the neighbor, but it's a sad fact that the 61-year-old owner of the house was the perpetrator of this kidnapping, and now this man can resume a life, but, you know, so much of his life has been taken from him. Wild, bizarro story. In Oakland. Shout out to Oakland. Big shout out to, where are my Oakland people? Out there on Hagenberger Road.
Big shout out.
An auto theft victim, angry, says the Oakland cops took hours to respond to the location where he tracked his stolen pickup truck.
You see what I'm saying? The cops come to the Mark Thompson house like that. This guy, he's tracking his own stolen car, and they're like, yeah, we'll be there when we get there. You know.
Well, to be fair to the cops on that, I think because it was involved an intruder, they felt that the cops stepped to it more quickly.
Yeah.
If it's just stolen property, they're not super quick. But fair point. I feel the criminal justice system is failing in California, said the person who tracked his stolen pickup truck. and this is a symptom of it. Surveillance video showed a Dodge Charger with 3 occupants pulling up to the Redwood City home around 2 a.m. The Redwood City is just south of San Francisco, viewers who are not from the Bay Area. They made a beeline to this guy's custom Dodge Ram pickup truck parked in the driveway. One of the suspects drove away in the victim's truck, maneuvering around a Tesla that was supposed to be a barrier to the truck being stolen. But the dude tracked his stolen truck to a cul-de-sac near 99th Avenue and Plymouth Street in East Oakland. He went to that location in the middle of the night, 3:45 in the morning. That same Dodge Charger that was in front of my house, he says, was parked across the street facing that car. They covered my vehicle with a tarp, but they could only cover the front half of it, so I could see the back of my truck, and I knew it was my truck. He called the cops in Oakland several times, but was told no officers were available to respond. I'm telling them I can see the truck. I have a tracker. I can remote start it. I can turn on a light. So they're saying too busy, don't care, he says.
Oh, man. Meanwhile, was he hiding out outside of the thief house?
Well, it's funny. You ask about that. He noticed people on the street looking at him. He decided to go home to Redwood City. He said there were guys coming out on the street. I was like, I could kind of tell. He said it was about to get tense there.
Yeah.
So this is the story in Oakland. But when the news got involved, Channel 2 News got involved, they're in the East Bay, they're in Oakland, for those just looking in. That prompted a call to Oakland police. And about an hour later, they called the victim, the dude whose truck was stolen. And when that happened, it got kicked into high gear, he said. I gave up like this many years. He was a Marine Corps vet. That's why he says this. I gave up this many years of my life for what? Like, that's how I feel. I come back home, my car gets stolen, they're going to do nothing about it. So he got the car back, but the alignment's off, he says, and they tore apart the whole driver's side trying to look for the tracker. They were trying to disable the tracker. But he says it's only a matter of time until this happens again. That's Law and Disorder for today.
Tune in again next time for more Law and Disorder on The Mark Thompson Show.
All right, that's it. Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out there.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.